Hi, my name is Chris. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be looking at Leetcode problem 387, first unique character in a string with JavaScript. This is considered an easy problem. It says given a string S, find the first non-repeating character in it and return its index. If it does not exist, return -1. All right, so if this is our input, the string Leetcode, the first character that does not repeat is going to be L, so our output is the index of L, which is 0, right? For this one, the first non-repeating character is going to be V, so its index 0, 1, 2 is 2. We get an answer of 2. One thing to note, in both these examples is D doesn't repeat either, but we do, the first. That's important. Okay, example 3, we have A, A, B, B, so nothing is non-repeating, so we return -1. All right, so how do we go about doing this? Move over to CodePen. So what we're going to do is we're going to loop through the string with a for loop, and well, first we're going to create an empty object. Let's call it storage. Right. Now we can loop through the string, loop through S. So we'll use a for loop. For let I equal 0 if I is less than S dot length I plus plus. Let's console.log string I just to make sure I didn't mess the thing up, and then of course we need to log it to the console or we won't see anything. Alright, cool. Everything's set up correctly. We're getting undefined because we're not returning anything. I'm going to return -1 as a default. Okay? Because if we have no non-repeating character, we're going to return -1. So what we're going to do here is we're going to loop through the string, and then first we're going to look in storage and we're going to say, does that character exist? If it does, we're going to increment it by 1. If it doesn't, we're going to add it to storage and give it a value of 1. So what we're doing with storage is we're keeping track of how many times the character occurs, right? And the nice thing about this is it's going to go in order, right? So you're going to see L that occurs twice, O occurs twice, and then V occurs once, so on and so forth. Then what we can do is we can just loop through storage, and as soon as we see a key or the letter with a value of 1, we just return that. We return the index of that key in S, right? And so when we return that, looping through that object will just stop, right? So it will never get to D, which will also be 1, right? So that's a real quick synopsis of how we're going to do that. So first we need to check, does this exist in storage? And I'm going to use a ternary operator. If that exists, we're going to say storage, at S at I plus equals 1. What did I do there? Sorry. Plus equals 1. So that will increment it by 1. So, and if it doesn't exist, I'm just going to copy this, get rid of the plus. If it doesn't exist, we're going to put it into storage and give it a value of 1. Right? So if this character exists in storage, we're going to increment that character's value by 1. If it does not, we're going to add it to storage and give it a value of 1. So let's look at our object real quick. So This will show the object in the console. There you go. So that's what we want to see, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to loop this object, and we're going to say if the value is ever 1, we're just going to immediately return the index of this key and s, right? So let's go ahead and change this back to -1. So what we need to do here, loop it through an object. We need to say key in storage. So now key is going to represent all the keys. Storage is obviously our object. And then we need an if statement that says if storage at key. Did I spell storage wrong? I did. If storage at key, if that equals 1, then we return s, and we use the index of method key. Oops. Index of key, right? And there we go. We get 2 because the first non-repeating character is V. V is at 0, 1, 2. That's correct. If there is a non-repeating character, I'm just going to grab this. This will be easier. Right, so if this is the situation, you're going to get -1. And we do. Cool. All right, this looks great. Let's go ahead and copy it. And then I'm going to paste it into Leetcode, format my code. Let's run the tests. Great. Let's go ahead and submit. Great. All right, not the fastest code, but decent, 50%. Beats 50%. All right, hopefully you found this video helpful and enjoyable. If you did, please like it. If you'd like to see more like this, please like and subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you again real soon.